Hello students, how are you all? In your previous class, you have studied how the plants absorb water and dissolved minerals from the ground through root hairs and transport to other parts of the plant through xylem vessels. Also, how the phloem vessel is going to conduct the food to all the parts of the plant. Today, you are going to study about the reproduction in plants. You know that you already studied in your previous class, that is class 6th, about the characteristics of living things. One of the characteristics is reproduction, reproduction. The reproduction of new individuals from their parents is known as reproduction. Please note down the production of new individuals from their parents, mother and father, is known as reproduction. But how do plants reproduce? There are different modes of reproduction in plants which we shall learn in the chapter. That is chapter number 12, reproduction in plants. Modes of reproduction. In class 6, you learnt about different parts of a flowering plant. You can see in and around your house. The plants are giving the flowers. List the various parts of the plant and write the function of each. Function means work, functions. Most plants have roots, stems, and leaves. The parts of the plant, see once again, pick a plant in and around your house and study. Roots, stem, leaves, flowers. Now, the part between the two leaves is known as node, N-O-D-E. After a certain period of growth, most plants bear flowers. That is the reproductive part of a plant. What you know you have studied in this year about the flowers, part of the flowers. Now, you may have seen the mango trees flowering in spring. It is these flowers that give rise to juicy mango fruit we enjoy in summer. We eat the fruits and usually discard the seeds. We don't take interest in eating the seeds, isn't it? Seeds germinate and form new plants. So, what is the function of flowers in plants? Flowers perform the function of reproduction in plants. Flowers are the reproductive parts. There are several ways by plants produce their offsprings, their young ones. These are categorized into two types. Please remember, today there are two types, asexual and sexual reproduction. Flower is the produced because of sexual reproduction. Today, you are going to study about asexual reproduction. A-S-E-X-U-A-L, asexual. Reproduction, R-E-P-R-O-D-U-C-T-I-O-N. So, what is asexual reproduction? In asexual reproduction, plants can give rise to new plants without seeds. Whereas in sexual reproduction, new plants are obtained from seeds. I'll repeat here in important point to be noted. In asexual reproduction, plants can give rise to new plants without seeds. Now today you are going to study about what? About asexual reproduction. Now, asexual reproduction takes place by the other parts of the plant, that is other than seeds. So which are they? They are leaf, stem, then modified. Some parts are modified. By cutting those parts also you can get. Now let us define the asexual reproduction as, if it takes place from other parts, we are going to call it as vegetative propagation, that is spreading. Now cut a branch of a rose or champa with a node. Node is the part which is in between the two leaves below the leaf stalk. This piece of branch is termed a cutting. Bury the cutting in the soil. A node is a part of a stem branch at which a leaf arises. Water the cutting every day and observe its growth. Observe the record number of days taken for roots to come out and new leaves to arise. Try the same activity by growing a money plant. You know money plant, which climbs over any support. You take water and put a small stem of money plant in water and record that observation also. Stem cutting of rose. You know, no? You can cut the stem of the rose and put. So do this activity yourself at home. Apart from flower birds, there are birds in the asexual part, which is very active, axil of the leaf, where it joins the leaf stalk, joins the stem. That part is very active, that is the axil. Axillary bud will come there. In that part you can see the small buds will come, which makes the plant to grow, which makes the plant to propagate. Vegetative buds will, in that part, the part is very active, that part can give the new plant. Vegetative buds can also give rise to the new plants. Now you can see the our stem potato which you eat, which you are having in the kitchen. You can ask your mummy that if you keep for some time, the small white colored part will come. They are called as eyes of the potato plant. So this part, if you cut and put in the water soil, once again you are going to get the new plant. The soil should be kept wet. Then turmeric also, like that, only ginger also. If you put the nodal part into the ground, you are going to get the new plant. And a hedge plant which is known as bryophyllum. The leaves, when it comes in touch with the ground, in the nodal part, in the sides of the bryophyllum, BRYOPHYLLUM, in the margin, the new buds will come, and then the root will go down in the moss soil, and each bud can give rise to a new plant. Bryophyllum is growing near the edge. Roots of some plants can also give rise to new plants. Roots like sweet potato, then dahlia, carrot, beetroot, then radish. Okay. Now plants such as cacti, cactus plant, cactus singular, cacti plural, produce new plants when their parts get deleted from the main plant body. Now you can see here bryophyllum. Okay, each detached part can grow into a new plant. Plants produced by vegetative propagation take less time to grow and bear flowers and fruits earlier than those produced from seeds. So vegetative propagation is very useful. The new plants are exact copies of the parent plant. I told you what is reproduction. I defined you already. Parent plant is very important. If your parents are not there, you would have not existed, as they are produced from the single parent. Here, they are in the vegetative reproduction. Plants are produced from a single parent. No union of sexual parents. So, single. Later in this chapter, you are going to study. It is a natural process, provided you have to take interest, where the seeds are not going to give rise to the other than seeds. You can use some parts of the plant and get the new plants. Now some more things you can see, the which is going to be produced asexually. Single parent, okay. Now, you know that when you can see some organisms like yeast, there you have to observe under microscope. Yeast, you know, no, single-celled organism. These grow and multiply every few hours. If sufficient nutrients are made available to them, they also require nutrients. So these single-celled organisms, that when you put to the cake in the bakery and all, no, chemist shop, you will get that. They are going to be produced. Take that and a single spoon, you put it a pinch. You don't want this as a spoon. You take a pinch of yeast and place it in a container with some water. So then it requires media. Some medium is required. What is a good medium? Where you are going to put a pinch of yeast, add a spoonful of sugar and shake to dissolve it. It has to be dissolved. Spoon, okay, full of sugar. Keep it in the warm part of a room. After an hour, put a drop of this liquid on a glass slide. Observe under a microscope. Microscope is there in our lab also. So, you have to observe that. The small bulb-like projection, which you are going to see in this picture, also in your reader, coming out from the yeast cell is called a bud. The bud gradually grows and gets detached, separated from the parent cell and forms a new yeast cell. The new yeast cell grows, matures. Matures means it will be bigger and bigger and produces more yeast cells. Sometimes another bud arises from the bud, a small protuberance that will grow, forming a chain of buds. If this process continues, a large number of yeast cells are produced in a short time. That's why the same way happens in the virus also. Within a few seconds, they will grow very fast. The next vegetative propagation is fragmentation. You would have seen that green patches in ponds or other stagnant water bodies. These are the algae. Even in our last week in the our Sultan Batter, Tanir Bavin and all, the water became green because of algae. A-L-G-A-E. You already studied about algae. Now, algae, when water and gets water and nutrients, they will grow and multiply rapidly by fragmentation. This is very important. Learn the spelling. Fragmentation. Fragmentation. This is one vegetative propagation. An alga is singular, breaks up into two more fragments, one becoming two. These fragments or pieces grow into new individuals. This process continues and they cover a large area. Very fast it happens, provided they require important environment and good nutrients. Water also is important. This process continues and they cover a large area in a short period of time. The next propagation, vegetative propagation, is the spore formation. SPOREFORMATION. Spore formation. Now, spore formation you would have observed when you expose the bread for longer time without use. If you keep the first white colored mesh will cotton like structures. These are known as mycelia. Mycelia, MYCELIA. Mycelium singular, mycelia plural. And these white colored structures, if you keep for some more time, they will be blackish, okay. When you can take your lens and observe over the bread that small round like structures which we call as spores. These are very important. Spores, SPORES. In the bread you can see these spores are released. They kept floating in the air. As they are very light, they can cover long distances. Spores are asexual reproduction bodies. Each spore is covered by a hard protective coat to withstand unfavorable conditions such as high temperature and low humidity. So, they can survive for a long time. They can survive for a long time. Now you can see over the your walls. Okay, I think who are staying in the flats, you may not see the compound oil. Compound oil, they will, you have to visit other place like your grandparents' house and all. Now you are having some time. So you can see the plants which are now growing. Below side, lower side of the leaf, you can see there some black colored structures. These, if you cut and see, inside that spores are there. Spores, SPORES. These spores germinate. A spore germinates, GERMINATES, and develop into a new individual. Plants such as moss, okay, and ferns. Ferns we use for decorative purposes and also to make the garlands. Don't go and buy from the shop. You observe your walls, compound walls, and pick the plants and see whether you are able to see the spores. Okay. These plants, if you see, you can see that black color structures which are known as sori. SORI, spores forming bodies. Sori are the spore forming bodies. So these spore forming bodies you have to cut and see under the microscope, where you are going to see the plants. This plant is known as, in the reader, figure 12.8 is given in NCERT book, which is the Spirogyra. No, not Spirogyra. This is a fern, which is, you have to observe black colored sori, also cut and observe that any small round structures are there, spores. So they help in producing new plants. Asexually, single plants without uniting with the other plant. They are producing. So, asexual reproduction you have studied today. Please remember, in asexual reproduction, plants can give rise to new plants without seeds. Whereas, okay, it's vegetative parts, vegetative propagation. You have to note down this and study well. This all description is there in the lesson number 12, reproduction in plants. You have studied today only about asexual reproduction. So please go through your reader book also. In the next class, we will study about I'll explain you about the sexual reproduction. You can see here how the usual process is happening in the last part. Thank you for listening and understand it properly. All the best. Have a good day.